more than anything, but you said something about procreation as far as sex.
Right.
And I really want to like emphasize that even if you're not creating a baby when you're having sex, you're still creating something.
Correct.
Because it's one of the biggest forms of creation. So when you lay down and you have sex with somebody and you're having an orgasm, whatever you're thinking of or whatever energy you got going on with you, you are now creating that. You are manifesting that. That is the biggest form of creation. So when you're having sex and when you're engaging in that, you have to be very intentional with your thoughts. When you're having sex, you have to be, especially when you're having an orgasm, you have to be very intentional with that energy. Because if you're not, you're gonna manifest things in your life and you're gonna be like, why is this happening? Whole time you're having sex with somebody who's going through depression right now and they just needed you as an outlet.
Damn.
So now y'all done manifested this whole energy and you feeling things that's not even yours.
Come on.
I totally
Sounds
get
kinda
that.
personal.
Tunnel vision inside, cause you're just not right. Though it feels so right. Maybe if these things were different from all, can't help but fall, baby. It's just not fair, cause we seem to be the same.
I remember one time when I was younger, well, first I grew up in church, and in church, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage, before you marry somebody. And I remember one time I was in 9th grade and I had sex with this one girl and I cried. I cried.
From what, guilt?
Yeah, guilt.
Oh.
Like I was hurt. I knew my parents would be disappointed in me, so I didn't even tell them. You know, it was this girl. I can't even say her name, but
Don't.
Please.
No, don't.
her name is.
Don't worry about it.
Nah, but yeah, I felt so guilty because I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing it. I knew it was something natural. So that's why I did it. You know, it's natural. So I want to do it. It's like brushing my teeth every morning. It's natural.
You do that often?
Oh,
Okay.
But I think that it's important to really have some type of boundaries or something when it comes to having sex with somebody. And most people have sex early. You know, they start dating somebody and they wind up having sex with them because, oh yeah, we have similar beliefs, similar things that they like to do, and they feel like, you know, sex is needed. So I think that it's important to start off with letting people know what your intentions are when
Communicating.
you're communicating with them. If you don't communicate in any relationship, we're not even talking about sex, but in any relationship, if you don't communicate, you're bound to make some mistakes. But when you're dating someone, you don't want to feel like you are, you want one thing and they want another. I really have to talk about what y'all want to accomplish by dating.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think with communication, okay, so like for me personally, when I'm dating someone, and this may seem a bit harsh to some people, but if we're conversating and say for instance you tell me like, oh, you know, I smoke cigarettes, I do this, I do that, and those are not things that I do, and I don't see that in my future at all, we can be friends, but there's no need for us to go any further because you're already telling me where you're at right now and we're not in the same place. And of course things can change, but with certain things take time to change. So by you communicating with me or showing me certain things, I can now make a real decision about how I want to go about, you know, speaking with you, if we need to just be friends, if I do want to continue to date you or whatever the case may be.
I think sometimes people compromise their wants, their needs for sex.
Looks. Oh,
For sex.
Never
Nah, I think people do. Cause you mentioned like smoking cigarettes. For me, that's a no-go
That's
as
a
well.
no-go.
That's a no-go. But
That's a red flag.
have I had sex with someone that smoked cigarettes? Yeah.
Yeah, emphasis on the cigarettes.
You know what I mean? Because you wanted that temporary thing.
Right.
And I think a lot of people do that. I think in dating we're talking about communication and intentions, I think sometimes we don't go into it with that.
That's very true.
I think we go into it with that underlying thing. Hey, I wanna
what?
I wanna smush. Yeah, I wanna smush. I wanna
smash, thrash.
And he gonna drink to that one.
Yeah. Because I think the funny thing about sex is that we're talking about communication, but I think in this world today, we're very indirect about how we communicate about sex. We know what we want, but we're not gonna say it all the time.
You think so?
Some people play the game. I think some people play the game. They go, hey, oh, I think you're cool, or like we'll get on a dating app, and it's very indirect.
Yeah.
Because some people are in there really trying to find their soulmate, and there's other people that's in there trying to find.
Majority of people are on there for smushing.
I mean, some people are on there just to like get that one night stand, or just to get that person that they're convenient person.
Yeah.
That what they call it, a dick appointment.
Or a person
There you go.
to experience.
Come on, what do they call it?
That's like a big thing, like in dating and with sex. Like a lot of people, or one thing that I'm learning with me personally, because I'm a dancer, and I'm a dancer that dance very sensually a lot of the times. And so I come across people who want to experience me, and then I come across people who, you know, do want to be serious with me. And I'm just now getting to a point in my life where I can, you know, tell the difference between the two. Because at one point I didn't, and when I couldn't tell the difference between the two, of course I made bad decisions, and you know, I put myself in some bad places. So I'm now learning, like, okay, you just want to experience me. Like, I really pay attention and listen to what people say and how their actions and, you know, how they are around me. And I can kind of tell, like, okay, you just want to experience me. Like, you want to figure something out, whether that's figuring something out sexually or figuring out the type of person that I am. You know, people don't really take the time nowadays to really learn people. They want to figure you out. And so what happens once you figure out it is that you're looking for? Like, when you find what you're looking for, then what?
No, I get that. Being a poet myself, especially when it comes to me delivering erotic poetry. You know, I'm a poet, so all of my stories are my own. I'm talking about myself because that's what I have to talk about. And so when I do erotic poetry, it's always somebody in the crowd thereafter, like, oh, I see you like it from the back.
Well, you gotta understand, I mean, from a man's perspective, I've seen you dance, I've heard your poetry, it's intriguing.
Well, thank you.
It's like, as a man, you go, oh, so that's what we doing. You know what I mean? So you about that.
But, okay, yeah, being a man, but then being a grown man, like, why, that word.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah, being able to have such conversations, allowing me to express myself in such ways without you automatically, oh, she trying to get in the bed with
You know?
me. You know, like, it doesn't, it's just self-expression. Like, why can't it just be that? Why does it have to go there? Like, I'm not self-expressing myself just to try to get you in my bed, because I don't need to say my poem to get you in the bed. Just saying.
I think honestly, I think we do everything with our eyes, because if I see you dancing and I like it, I'm gonna feel some type of way and I'm gonna say something, or I'm gonna approach you. If I hear your poetry and I'm looking at you while you talk to me about your poetry, then we're making a connection. There is intimacy in sex. There has to be. There needs to be. Way before all of us were here, people used to write letters to each other. Right. You writing letters to people that you can't see, but you know, okay, by this handwriting, we talked about it earlier, handwriting, wow, this person is really digging me. They're really feeling me. And I'm sending a letter right back to them, but I can't see them, but I know who I'm speaking to, who I'm corresponding with, just by the words. I don't know if y'all watched that show, Love is Blind.
I've heard of it.
Y'all believe in that? You believe
Blind.
that you can marry somebody over just the voice and an understanding of what they like or what they desire?
Yeah. I feel like, I don't feel like I can. But I feel like a lot of times people get married and they go into it very blind. They want to get married based off the infatuation. They don't really take the time to really get to know that person. And what I mean by get to know them is, like, see them in all of their seasons, really learn the type of decision maker that they are, really engage, which is what the whole engagement aspect of marriage is about, is actually getting engaged to learn the person that you're thinking about marrying.
I think you have a better chance of having an intimate connection with someone
Without seeing them.
without seeing them, because you will get to know that person from a less shallow place.
Yeah.
You know, you get to know that the inside of that person. Because think about it, if I'm writing you letters, I have to kind of go more into detail about myself, my expression. But if I see you all the time, half naked or naked, and I'm having sex with you regularly, I almost feel like I don't have to. People lose connection because they made the ultimate connection. Because nothing connects two spirits more than sex.
Right.
And I think we do it so casually because we don't understand the connection behind it.
Right.
You know, and I think sometimes when there's more patience, there's more passion.
Right.
And then there's procreation. That's the way design was supposed to be. But when we're in each other's face all the time, I got your Instagram, I got your Facebook, and I'm seeing you half naked all the time.
And I'm in your guts.
And you, yeah, I'm in your guts, and you in my house. And then after that point, we wonder like, okay, I feel like I got you.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even have you because I don't
Right.
even know this person.
Right.
Right.
It's like, and then there's a lot of assumptions that are made. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I didn't know that. We're not communicating anymore. Because I think sex, sometimes relationships are like taking a long road trip on a very scenic route. But when you're having sex and you're involved in things that are, you're not prematurely, you're involved in those things prematurely, you're kind of missing the scenic route. You're missing the
Right.
waterfalls, you're missing the mountains, you're missing the flowers, you're missing so many things along the way because you're going so fast. But if you just kind of ride slow and cruise and go like,
Yeah.
let's have a talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's turn down the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me get to know you a little bit. And I think the way we date today, and I'm guilty of it,
Yeah.
because I've dated some really good quality people.
Right.
But if things go too fast,
Use that quality.
yeah.
But what's too fast? Like, what's too fast to y'all? Like, what does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like when you're going too fast?
I guess it just depends on who you're connecting with. Because overall, like, I don't put a time frame on like when I'm going to have sex with somebody. It just depends on our connection, our conversations, if there's time being put in on certain things. If there's not being any time put in, then you're not going to get anything from me. So for me personally, it just depends on the person. I can't label certain, because he might get in 3 weeks, and it might take you 5 months. It just depends on the man, and our connection. I'm very big on energy and stuff. I love, if I can sit with you in silence and still exchange energy, oh my gosh, that speaks volumes to me. So you might be that 3 week. But if I have to, pull things out of you, and really dig deep, if you're not really, open and transparent and vulnerable with me and all of those things, then it's going to take me a lot longer to open up to you sexually in that way, because I'm not getting any sort of connection.
So is that your threshold, 3 weeks?
No.
I'm like, all right, 3 weeks is up. Come on in, pal. So, I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody's business out there, but y'all I never had like a one-night stand?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Back in my day.
Yeah, I've had a one-night stand literally once. And I mean, it was great. I enjoyed I enjoyed myself. But it made me lose interest in him. So
He became less valuable.
He became less valuable to me. I didn't really find a real interest in him after that, it's just how it was. Like, I didn't find any real interest in him. And I think also part of that too was reflecting too. So like, I didn't find interest in him genuinely, but then also I was just like, I gave it up. I don't even want to keep talking to you at this point. Like,
wow. And
I know that sounds crazy, because a lot of the times men think that they're the only ones that do that, but there's women that's like that.
I think women are more savage than we give them credit for.
We're more in tune with our emotions.
Correct.
So when we make a decision to not put emotion towards something, that's just what it is.
Yeah, and it's a lot more detrimental when we decide to take emotions out. Yeah, because I've not only had just one night stand.
I've never.
This is 15 years ago, whatever, in my younger years. I've had a few or whatever, but that was a decision that I made. It wasn't because you, hey girl, come on, let's come back.
Right.
No. If I wanted you, I was going to have you.
I was gonna have you.
Period. Point. Yeah.
I'm gonna take you.
I didn't have to take them. I don't have to take. But there was no emotional connection. It was just me feeling a temporary need in the moment because I was more or less hot and bothered. And that was it. There was no like, I'm gonna call him tomorrow, let's meet up for breakfast or nothing like that. Nothing like that, none whatsoever. And it wasn't me like losing myself, or I was missing something in life. No, that's just the person that I was at that point. It didn't matter to me. This is what I wanted.
Right.
You gonna give it to me or not?
Oh, boy. I hope I don't have a daughter because I've done some things, and I'm not proud of it. You said that it was one time.
Yeah.
One time, 2 times, 3 times. 4. There was this one girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but I'm pretty sure this might come across her table or something like that.
Oh, God.
Oh gosh.
But I think I was 18, and I had an apartment with my brother, and I met this girl at the pool, and she like her eyes were glued on me, and she came up to me, asked me for my number and everything. I gave it to her, and she wanted a one-night stand.
That's
She
crazy.
wanted to go skinny dipping and all of that, and wanted a one-night stand. And when she got the one-night stand, next week she's blowing my phone up. I lie to you not, blowing my phone up and saying that she wanted to hang out. And I was like, I'm busy with my brothers right now. We're not hanging out. And she got so upset. She texted me that same night and said, I'm coming over there. And I was like,
Oh, she was ready.
what?
She
Coming
was
over there.
definitely ready.
She came in, and I let her in because I wasn't gonna give it up again. But what are you coming over for? Let's talk about it. What's up? Oh well, with you, I wanted to stop and smell the roses. And I was like, come on, smell the roses in a couple of hours. It takes a long time to smell some roses. But she was ready to settle down. But the way she approached me, it was like, I want you, and that's it. So it was like that.
That
But
was me.
I felt like the little boy in there. No,
Yeah.
don't. And it just happened.
Well,
Like,
you know what? Her actions are justified, in a sense.
why so?
She gave up the most intimate part of herself. And that's why I think we take the connection that sex creates. Some people can be very casual about it.
So you telling me if a girl walks up to you and just wants to skinny dip that same night, it's time to shut everything down and go with her for forever?
No, I mean, based on how you told the story, y'all had sex.
Yeah.
Y'all had sex. At that point, you made an agreement, whether you know it or not.
Mm-hmm.
There was an agreement made. And if she reacts that way, I think that's where a lot of men, we get our egos boosted. Because I mean, I know it. You have sex, you lay it down, and you go, okay, I'm in control now. I can tell you when or when I don't want to give it to you, And then some women are left in very vulnerable places where they're like, dang, I want to experience you more on a deeper level. And you're like, nah, I gave you as deep as it can go. And it's kind of selfish, but not everybody reacts the same. Some people can have a one-night stand, and some people can just move on from it. But I don't think that the hurt, whether you suppress it or not, I don't think it just dissipates. It's like, it's still there. So
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like as a woman, or as anybody, man or woman, if you go into a one-night stand or you go into, if you go into a one-night stand or having sex when you know the type of person that you are, why would you even have those expectations? Like, honestly, like for example, if he decided to move that way, why have the expectations that he wouldn't? Why have any expectations at all
That's
after
why
that?
you gotta talk about it.
But in most cases, people don't
So you
talk
telling me-
when it's a one-night stand
Well,
type of thing.
yeah. But still, if you're ready to settle down, oh no, hold on, before we do this, I gotta tell you something. This is what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, not definitely
Yeah.
communicate that, but
she didn't communicate, so it was like, oh, okay.
yeah,
You
I
didn't say
mean,
it?
so that's why I get it from both perspectives. Like her being hurt, but she's honestly, in that sense, she kind of hurt herself,
Right.
Because you had expectations that you did not communicate,
Right.
And you moved in a way that you know you don't want to move.
I think
You went against your own boundaries.
I think media speaks a lot for us now, right?
Societal.
Right.
Yeah.
Sex is selling. We're being sold sex all the time. You know what I
Literally,
mean?
yeah.
On television, whether it be movies, commercials,
Yes. Music.
music.
Yeah.
And music is probably the one that sells us the most sex.
Right.
And it's telling us how to move in sex. Because, okay, let's listen to slow jams, right? You know, you got your Luther Vandross, your Marvin Gaye. Like, they spoke about love in a different way.
Right.
Anita Baker.
Man, they told a whole
Meaningful.
story.
Sade.
Right.
oh, that's-
Without saying too much.
Right.
Nowadays they say it all.
It made us had a yearning for love. And not even for sex necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
For deeper intimacy, deeper
Yeah.
connection. Now let's go a little fast forward. You know, let's listen to modern day R&B,
Brown.
Migos.
hip hop. It's telling us, man, fuck a connection.
Right.
Get some.
I just want to fuck.
Yeah, and a lot of us are moving that way, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not dating with intention. We're not dating to communicate. We're not dating to see where things go. I don't care to have that deeper, intimate relation. Honestly, I'm waiting for shit to get toxic.
Right. You know, it's
Toxic
so
is that
bad because
word.
you have, I've had somebody inbox me, let's be toxic together.
Like,
the hell you
what?
say?
Hey,
no,
man. Come
I
on,
don't
man.
want that.
Come on,
Like,
man.
catch me 15 years ago, I would have agreed to that.
You know?
But no, I'm too grown. You know, it's been too much self-discovery. It's like too much growth. You know, toxicity, no. And it's society, like you said, has played such a big role. Like, people do not think for themselves nowadays. They solely want to be told what to do. And videos, music, TV shows, commercials, everything tells you what you need to feel, think, and how you need to move in life. And people follow accordingly.
People follow,
Like, they
yeah.
do not think for themselves.
Why I gotta have conversation when I could just turn on my phone and look for some red tube or something like
Swipe left.
Red tube.
that? Yeah.
I mean,
So what's RedTube?
Not
I'm sorry,
red tube.
I've heard it like, what is that? Is that
Red
like
tube porn.
pornography?
oh, okay.
Okay. When I said media, I didn't even speak of pornography.
Right, that's a whole
But I
nother-
can speak from a personal experience. So, you know how you chill. You know when you said when you first had sex you cried? I had a very traumatic experience with pornography.
You got caught.
No. Nah, bro. And you know what? I thank God I never got caught because
Oh my gosh.
that kind of shame, I don't know if I would be able to recover from it. It would take a lot of therapy. But, you know, I grew up in a missionary family. You know what I mean? But I had friends that didn't grow up in that background. So I had a friend of mine, his name, I'm not gonna put you out, but I'm gonna put him out. Out of respect and love for him, I'm not gonna do that. But, you know, he was like, oh, he just put it on. And I'm just like, whoa, what is this?
Oh, he was there?
Wait.
In the
Who's all
room?
in the room?
Nah, it's not like he put it on and we're like, come on, it's not a jerk party.
Hey, you got the lotion?
Yo, chill out.
the jerk game.
That was normal for him. You know, like,
Gotcha, yeah.
you know,
As far as watching TV, that was normal for him.
yeah, he had a laptop, so he'll put on
Oh,
pornography.
okay.
I'm just like, whoa. And for me, that's like, I grew up in church. I'm a good kid, right? So I'm thinking, oh, whoa, dude, this is crazy. But when I get home, I'm like,
You turned it
I
on.
want to watch something.
I'm like, dang, that was kind of crazy. Like, I want to see more of that. You know, and when you're a rookie, you don't know nothing about this. So I got like my computer speakers up.
Oh my gosh.
And
Surround sound.
it's loud.
Did you lock your door?
No. So my parents, they went to, you know, doing what they do. They go to church and stuff.
Did you open up blinds?
I don't know where my sisters were. They weren't even
Light some
home.
candles.
And chill out. I don't even know what I looked up. I just looked up something.
Porn.com.
Yo, chill out. I'm looking up something. And it starts playing. Because at the time, you know, it was still broadband. We were just coming off of dial-up. So it was buffering. It was buffering.
The anticipation.
Little circle was spinning in the middle of the
Yo,
scene.
so I started playing it, and I'm watching it, and it's loud, it's intense, and I'm just like, oh my God, and I don't think I blinked, you know, I don't think I blinked. I'm just looking at it like, oh my God, this is
It's real.
real. And I've never seen this before. I mean, outside of what I just saw at my friend's house, and I've never seen this before. But then I hear the car pull up.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, and I'm I'm
courthouse.
scared. I'm terrified because I'm like, my mom and dad are gonna see this and they're gonna send me back to Haiti. They gonna.
Oh, and you gotta clear your history.
What?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you're a pro. But
Chill, man.
so my mom and dad pull up. I close everything out, but the speakers, I'm thinking, damn, they heard that because it's loud. You hear all of that. You hear all that, and I close it out, and I run to my room, and I get under the covers, and I pretend to be asleep, and I had a nightmare.
Oh.
I had a
You got caught?
I had a nightmare of the pornography.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean? I had a nightmare of what I saw, and then everything I mean was like, yo, just confess to your parents, tell them what you just did, tell them what you just saw, and I never did. But then this led to a life of secrecy. Like, I always held that away from my parents.
Dang.
I never told them about.
Will they know now?
Well, how my mother found out I was having sex was actually very awkward because in high school, she found a note that this girl left in my backpack. Because my mom's a snooper. And I hope you guys are not like that with your children. Please don't do that because it's an invasion of privacy. But she found the letter and this girl was pretty, you talk about love letters, she was pretty explicit about experiences that we had. And my mom read the whole thing. And it was so weird because I was like, why are you crying? Then I saw the letter, I was like, oh. Yeah. And I just, but it led to a life of secrecy. And that meant like with masturbation, that meant with, sex, that meant with relationships. I just withheld it from them. But that was a very traumatic experience because when I watched porn, I was never really satisfied.
Yeah.
Because it's not real. It looks real, but it's not real.
I never felt satisfied, and it led to me watching more. And then it led to me having, like, what you talked about, experiences. I didn't care for you.
Right.
I just wanted to experience
Right.
what I saw.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't know about love making and having a connection. I just knew about like,
Right.
and then if you didn't make those sound effects, I was like, am I doing it wrong? Like, literally, I just thought
Am I doing it wrong?
It's I thought,
It's not mac and cheese.
right, and it's
It's not
Not
mac
mac
and
and
cheese.
cheese.
you know? And if I didn't get that connection, then I was just like empty. I had this void I was trying to fill all the time. And like, I misconstrued what love was supposed to be and replaced it with this.
That's real. That's real because, I mean, I could talk about it too since you opened up the floor. I used to watch it all the time. All the time. All the time. Finish my homework, turn it off.
Be ready to get home from school.
But
Wait to finish this math problem.
it's chill. It's damaging though. It's damaging.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
in all of, I don't want to say all of them. In most of the relationships that I've had, it was just like, thank you, come again.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I don't know, it's really traumatizing because it messes with your brain.
Yeah.
If you're on your phone looking at something that you can't touch, but you're sitting here beating your dick.
It's a different form of intimacy, but it's
Yeah.
not a real connection with that intimacy.
But it messes up the person
Exactly.
that you're going to now physically because you can't get up. You can't get up at a real person, but you can get off on a.
And you want to, so I'm happy that you said that. It's kind of like what you just said reminded me of like women and vibrators. Like, it's not good for a woman to use vibrators, honestly, at all. Like, not even a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, they're used, but it's not good to because a male does not have the same capacity as a vibrator.
Yeah, I can't
It's not
operate
the
on high.
same. So,
High intensity. Yo,
so
can't move 360.
I can't operate on high, man. I'm like, man, you won't get a nice medium.
So when a woman, when she uses a vibrator all the time, 24/7, when it's time to actually be engaged with an actual person physically, a lot of women struggle with that. Like, I come across so many women who have a hard time being intimate and really like getting that blood flowing to that area because it's not a vibrator.
Wow.
It desensitizes.
Yeah,
you.
and it's so crazy. And also, not only that, not only do it desensitize, but it also causes reproductive issues because of
You're damaging.
the what is it called? The radiation. The radiation from the vibrator. So now you're also you're messing your reproductive
What if
system
it's
up.
solar powered? I'm just wondering.
Somebody.
No.
Somebody get it.
Tesla's gonna start making
Let me know if you
Tesla,
come across. No.
There's a proposition for you here. Solar powered vibrators. Hey man, don't take that from us.
Oh,
But you know,
my
something you
gosh.
said kind of made me have a little epiphany with being secretive. Because growing up, we had all the channels. And so when my parents went to bed, I would put on the Playboy channel, but I would put on Cartoon Network. This way I can hit
Oh
the
yeah,
back.
yeah. That's how you gotta
Damn,
do
you
it.
was
Yeah, you gotta
slick.
flip it. Yeah, you gotta flip
Dang
it
right.
back.
If I heard that door open, click, click.
Watching
Yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory.
We had parental
2:00 in the
control, so
morning.
you couldn't do that.
But with
Yeah,
the whole
my
secrecy
parents-
thing where I kept, where that wasn't, sexuality wasn't something that was talked about enough in my household. Maybe one conversation. It's definitely something I wish my parents would have done more of, because I probably wouldn't have had, even though I was in control, I know that I still had an unhealthy relationship with sex for a long time, especially in my early 20s. And I wish those conversations would have been had because it led me to be, one, watching my parents, like if they were going through things emotionally,
Right.
financially, sexually in their marriage, they kept it to themselves. So I, in turn, with my siblings, when I'm going through things, kept them to myself, whether, especially sexually. Like, I
Right.
will not discuss those things. I have not discussed those things with them. I do so more now.
Yeah.
I'm older, I'm more mature, I'm more open with them.
Right.
These are things of the past that I would not have opened up about. And I wish I would have, because I wouldn't have had those unhealthy relationships.
So let me ask y'all this. So do you guys feel like, and I really want to hear from the men. I want to hear from you too, but I really want to see y'all's perspective on this. If you guys have a daughter, do you feel like it's necessary to also talk to her about sex and her period, just like her mom does too?
I would say so. Yeah, that's your seed. So you want the best for them. You want to educate them as much as you can without overloading their brains. But
Right.
it's important for you to know, because that is, hey, this is how you do it. Mom's sick right now, or mom can't, she's not here, or she's on vacation or whatever. This is a period, because eventually they're gonna come to you, Dad, I didn't, because they don't know how to explain it.
Right.
So you're gonna have to explain it to them and help them out.
Right.
Because it's a natural process.
Right.
And it wouldn't be right if you didn't educate anyone on something that you had the capacity to educate them on. Because
You want to educate them. You don't want anybody else to come after you
Yeah.
and try to educate them.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's something I would really want to emphasize in parenthood. I'm not a
Yeah.
parent yet, but God willing, I will be. Because there's conversations I wish my parents would have had with me that I had to go find out on my own.
Right.
Like a wet dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish, especially my father, because, I love my dad, and one of the most important things he ever gave to me was the Bible and teaching me about God. But what came with that also is this superficial perception of how you're supposed to be in public. And sometimes because of those things, you condemn a lot of things. Because in church, we don't talk about sex.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of us kids are experiencing sex everywhere.
Everywhere.
At school, they talking about sex. They having sex ed.
Yeah.
They be having sex in school now.
What?
What?
Okay.
Sex ed doesn't even teach on everything.
No, it doesn't. But
It
as a
doesn't.
parent, you're supposed to tell me. Like,
Right.
this is the most sex ed my dad ever told me. He's like, you have sex before marriage, you're going to hell. I'm like,
He told you that.
dang, that's intense.
Yeah.
If I have a daughter, I don't want to tell her that.
Right.
Right.
That's
She
not
gonna
how.
probably kill herself or something.
Well, no, what's going to lead to is rebellion.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I know in my household, I never had